Buji Herzog is not a new name in Israeli politics. He's been part of the Labour Party since his early 20s. After years of being the best number 2 of the Labour Party, he finally at age 53 managed to be voted number 1. We wanted to find out from our experts if the Labour Party under the Herzog leadership will change something in the Israeli political landscape. The chief political correspondent of the Jerusalem Post, Gil Hoffman, paints a very positive picture of the new Labour leader.
Isaac Herzog's grandfather, Isaac Herzog, was the chief rabbi of Ireland and then became the chief rabbi of Israel. And so Herzog has this Anglo background. He even went to school for a while in Ramah High School in New York, very prominent Jewish high school, when his father was the ambassador to the United Nations. And so he's a worldly man. He understands the needs of the Jewish diaspora. He lived there. He's very close to Jewish leaders all around the world. He gets it in a way that very few Israeli politicians do.
Gonen Ginat, the political editor of Israel Hayom, expresses very little optimism as for Herzog's ability to raise the Labour Party to a different place in the Israeli political map.
The Labour Party is not going to have more support. If they will get some voters, it will be on the expense of voters from the same bloc. So, my opinion, nothing is going to change. Shelley Yachimowicz was, my opinion, better for the Labour Party than he was. She could get some new voters that, my opinion, he will never be able to bring them.
I believe that I will open up the party, bring in new forces, bringing forces who have left the party.
At the end of the day, Herzog's success will be measured by if he can get the Israeli left-center voters to come back to the polls in the next elections, claims the political editor of the Times of Israel, Haviv Gur.
Until 1999, voter turnout in Israel was extremely steady and extremely high, somewhere between 77% and 80% for about 40 years, across all kinds of different governments and wars and turbulence and all sorts of things. And then since 2000, really, since the Second Intifada, voter turnout has collapsed. It's collapsed down to 65, 66, and that loss of voter turnout has largely taken place on the left. So the question is, can the left mobilize a leadership that can bring 15% of the electorate that stopped voting back out to vote? That's not something Shelley Yachimowicz was able to do, even though she tried to talk about economic issues and tried to really connect with the 2011 social protests. And there's no sign that Buji Herzog, that Isaac Herzog has any clue how to do that either. So we're still looking for a left-wing leader who knows how to mobilize the left and get them out to vote.
Gil Hoffman believes that Israel might just be ready for a different kind of leader than what it has been used to until today.
Isaac Herzog has a very different point of view about how to advance the Labour Party than his predecessor, Shelley Yachimowicz. He believes that the Labour Party is about the peace process, as it was for many years, and that has to be the primary objective of the party, along with the issue that she cared about, which is promoting the socioeconomic welfare of the working class. And so he is going to be taking a very serious role in encouraging the Netanyahu administration to move the peace process forward. He doesn't fight with anyone. He can get along with people. He needs to prove himself as a leader. And now he has time as the opposition leader to coordinate the efforts of parties with very different points of view about how to bring down the Netanyahu government. And perhaps it's not charisma in the modern day that makes a leader, but the ability to keep people united and help them get along. And in a country as divisive as Israel, maybe that's the kind of leader we need. Who knows? The people will decide.
So it now remains to be seen if Buji Herzog has got it in him to raise his party from the ashes and convince the Israeli public that he is worthy of being the next Prime Minister of Israel. For JN1, I'm Jacobsohn in Jerusalem.